Hello, today we're going to talk about Escape Room. There are multiple movies with the Escape Room title. This is the latest one, starring Deborah Ann Woll. And she's actually, her and Tyler Labine are the most familiar actors in the movie. There are some more, but they're not familiar, they haven't been in a lot of movies. They haven't been in a lot of things. Maybe you'll recognize the faces, but I didn't. The movie is pretty average. It's based on the same kind of concept as movies like The Cube or the Saw franchise, where people get put into an area where they have to figure out clues to escape, and in this case they escape to another room which has another clue, and they have to keep going like that. Only just like Cube and Saw, they have different deadly obstacles trying to kill them that they have to deal with and also solve the clue. This isn't as brutal as Saw or The Cube, not as violent. There are deaths in it. They're not too gruesome. So in that aspect, like, it is more of a horror movie that more people can watch. But it is a pretty well-used concept that a bunch of strangers stuck in a room have to get out or else they die. And so that's not very original. The way they get together isn't very original. The only thing that's really original is why they're together, the only reason it's original is because it's not really a good reason. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. The reasoning that the people who put them in the room actually have for doing that doesn't make a lot of sense, and which also makes the ending not make a lot of sense. So in that aspect, it's a little different than average, because most of those types of movies have logical reasons or semi-logical reasons why the people are put in there and why they have to deal with these situations, but in this case there's not really much there. So the reasoning that they're putting in the room doesn't make sense, especially because what gets them in the room is like a $10,000 reward, and they get in there and, like, especially there's one fan who's like a huge fan of escape rooms, and he doesn't realize that there's something wrong even when things go really bad. So that part doesn't make sense either. Like, you would think that somebody who's an escape room expert and constantly goes to them would recognize right away when they're doing something that most rooms don't. Like, especially, like the first room was very deadly and somebody could have easily died, but he's just trying to make excuses for him. It seemed kind of odd. And overall, like, you have the same cliches. This one doesn't have as many of the selfish characters, which always show up in a movie like this. Like the guy that is trying to solve the clues along with everybody else, but at some point throughout the movie, he wants to be the only one who gets out. That always happens in movies like this. In this case, it does too, but just not as much as what it usually happens. And a lot of the characters are likable for the most part. They don't have like terrible pasts or anything like you would see in a Saw franchise, where none of the characters are someone you want to cheer for, but in this movie you do, so that's good. The characters are better than your normal horror movie, but overall it's just average. Like the kills are average. There's nothing to set this apart from other movies. Like it's not that brutal, it's not that gruesome, so the kills are average. The characters are average. You don't learn a lot about them before they start getting killed off. The ones that you do know about, you sympathize with, but only because they seem like decent people. Not because they've done anything or they've created well thought out characters that make you really feel for them. It's just they seem like decent people, and you don't want to see decent people get killed. So overall, I give it a 5 out of 10. It was fine. Like, it's decently made. It's decently acted. It was an okay idea, but like I said, there's already multiple movies with the name Escape Room because people have already done movies like this, and it was already done in the Saw franchise, so it's not original at all. Even before like escape rooms existed, they were already making movies like this. So 5 out of 10. It's not bad. If you're looking for like an average horror movie with some okay kills and some interesting rooms, like they do go from room to room, so you do see different ways, different sets and different kind of world building, so that part is a little bit interesting. And like I said, the kills are okay. Deborah Ann Woll is good. The other actors are okay. You get your typical like stoner and smart girl and athlete and nerd and things like that, but overall it's a 5 out of 10. Nobody stands out as far as acting goes. It was decently made. It has some okay scares. Nothing as far as humor goes. There wasn't many jokes. And as far as like scares go, like I said, there's a few decent ones, but not much. Most of what happens you can predict, so there's not a lot of tension. But like I said, 5 out of 10, and that is Escape Room, the 2019 version. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all of the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.